Meant on recommended sentences for two men who recently pleaded to drug charges. These details from the Casgram. Joshua Adams is 44 years old from rural Plattsmouth. In October of 2022, a fire at a metal shed near Beaver Lake led to the discovery of a marijuana grow operation in Cass County, Nebraska. In district court, he pleaded to a lesser felony. Also, Jion Calloway, 24 years old from Omaha, pleaded guilty yesterday after 2 of the 5 drug charges against him were dropped.